Hi, folks. This is your host, James Pax. I've been living in China for over 25 years. Only recently, I discovered an amazing spot for backpackers to visit. Most tourists coming to China, they go to Beijing to see the Great Wall, Shanghai to see the new high-rises in Pudong, and taking ferry ride along the Pudong River, or to walk down the boulevard where Western-styled 1940s buildings are erected for selfies. Some tourists will go to the Xi'an to visit the ancient tomb of the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huangdi. I happen to be the man who played the first emperor of China in a movie called The First Emperor. You can still catch it on YouTube. But there is one amazing spot I recently discovered, and it's worth telling you. It's called the Wu Yi Mountain. For centuries, Wu Yi Mountain has been famous for growing tea. We arrived in Wu Yi train station by riding on a bullet train traveling at the speed of 125 miles an hour. Everywhere we look, we see mountains and hills filled with tea plantations. Jenny, my producer, and I wake up early at 6 a.m. to be on time for the 7:30 raft ride. The raft is made with thick bamboo that are tied together with thick ropes, and it requires 2 raft workers to operate it. The raft worker uses a long wooden stick with steel pike in the end to guide the raft down the stream. The Rough Riders like to crack jokes and tell us local folklores behind each scenic spot. The ride was poetic and fun. It really put you in touch with nature and to get a sense of how the ancient people lived their lives along the river.
前面这个地方啊，水位上升，这边茶叶都茶黄掉了啊。每年6月份水位上升6到8米，到时候你们就坐不上去玩了。对，每年6月份是最高纪录，雨水充沛，雨势持续强劲的时候。那边原来几棵大树啊被洪水冲掉了，所以就树脑都没留在这边。然后水到那个点，有8米深。右边这个洞洞我们戳出来看到没有？招弓打洞，北花北中，左一枪，右一枪，枪枪命中。
This is just amazing. We're on a raft in China with Jenny here. This, and we have the raft workers explaining to us about the whole trip. It's 9 miles.
有鱼是喂鱼了，鱼会跳，我给你看。
9 miles. This is an amazing trip. If you ever come to China, you have to come to this place. All right? This is 9 miles. Yeah. Enjoy the trip with me. I'm going to take you down the raft. This is an amazing sight, amazing scenery. Look at that. Ooh, beautiful sights, beautiful view.
左边这个地方是茶马古渡，看到没有？拍过乔家大院、蒋勤勤、陈建斌主演拍一段戏哦，也是9区漫游道茶马古道之一哦。茶马古道万里行起点站就在我们这边武夷山市下埋古民居那边拍起点的。万里千里茶，千载如是道。右边山顶上一个风景，那叫乌纱帽，离我们这边500米高，看到没有？长。这个7品县官怕老婆，2个光前被他老婆掉，所以他气管炎啊，当不了官啊。等到那边有个白云长寺那边做和尚去了。
Ooh, the fish. Along the way, we see rocks that are poked with deep holes by the Rough Riders' wooden staff.
效益洞啊，大马功劳啊！你看，
这里就是打开来，往里面撒出去。
We visited different mountain ridges that are shaped by nature to look like elephant trunk, hamburger, Queen's Crown, which I rather like to call it the Rock of Corn. Some part of the stream is shallow with pebbles that entices you to want to take a skinny dip in it. But some area, the water is as deep as 8 meters. One amazing sight worth mentioning is the cliff-hanging coffins. According to ancient folklore, wealthy patrons hired expert mountain climbers to bring coffin up to the top of a 300-meter cliff and places the coffin inside a cave or simply hanging it on the side of the cliff with tree planks supporting it. And you think these coffins would have rotted away after 700 years. However, they're intact like new. That really makes me wonder how it is possible for people to even climb up that rock cliff without the modern rock climbing gears. And how is it possible to lift a coffin up 300 meters high? What kind of tools and ancient forklift did they use to get it up there? That is one mystery that no one can explain today. The entire rough ride takes about 2 hours, and along the way we see giant fish with golden eyes prancing in the shallow stream. The raft takes us underneath the bridge, which we are able to find our way up there to take some amazing photos afterwards. When you're on top of the bridge looking down, it gives you a different POV of the entire Wu Yi mountain. There are even a 2-story hideaway mansion tucked away in the mountain ridge, which supposedly belonged to the ex-president Chiang Kai-shek. After the rough ride, we began to hike up the mountain. We stopped midway to take a break and to get a taste of the mountain water. I dipped my towel in the cold mountain stream just so I can cool myself off. Hi, James Pax, lightning from Big Trouble in Little China. I'm right at the Wu Yi Mountain, the temple of the spiritual tea, because Wu Yi Mountain is famous for growing tea. So it's the tea city of China, and you gotta come. Although we didn't exactly make it to the top, we ended up coming down the hill and rested by the riverbank to find a perfect spot. to watch a school of golden-eye fish swimming around us. Folks, if you ever decide to go to Wu Yi Mountain and need some advice on how to book hotel, call on me. Look where I am right now. I'm at the Wu Yi Shan, means Wu Yi Mountain. Look at all these beautiful fish. Big. There's at least 200 huge fish. Naturally, grown fish here right next to me in my feed. Is right in between them. Look at them. Look at that. How beautiful this is. You got to come here to China, to the Wu Yi Mountain. I highly recommend it. All right, James Pax recommend all the fans around the world to come to Wu Yi Mountain. And you got to experience it yourself. It's my first time here. I didn't even know I was going to find this kind of natural environment. And look at the mountain around me. It's just amazing. Yeah, look at that. And this morning, we took the raft going all the way from the upper mountain and all the way down 9 miles. It took about 2 hours. It was an incredible ride. So you got to come to Wu Yi Mountain, an experience of a heaven. And I'm looking forward to make my Vortex, the movie here. Yeah, I already picked out my location to shoot my movie Vortex. All right. I hope that all of you will come here and visit. Until the next episode of the amazing spots around the world, be healthy and be happy. Aloha, 再见.